Let's start off this podcast on a bit of a positive note. So recently, I don't know why, but a couple of weeks ago, within 1 week, I sort of due to seeing shit on the internet, became aware of two instances in recent history where a woman has driven either a van or like a small truck kind of car, filled with children into tragedy and just killed everyone on board. Oh man, thanks YouTube. Thanks for telling me about these instances, these real life occurrences. Woo! So the first one was the Hart family, who were a lesbian couple. They were about in their late 30s-ish when when this happened, but they adopted a bunch of black kids, and then later on, one of them drove that fucking van filled with adopted black kids over a cliff, and then after such, I believe it came to light that they were deeply abusing the kids and depriving them and that sort of thing. Ah, cool, man. All right. I love white people who adopt black kids. Wow, they're usually such great people. That's usually why you see such a low suicide rate amongst adopted people. Isn't that right? Cool, man. Yeah, and hearing about this story, it kind of just got me thinking, it's weird to just be adopted. It's weird to be an adopted kid when your ethnicity just doesn't match your parents. It does seem weird, if you're just you're a black guy, but you grow up and you're both my parents are white. They're both white. One of them's Chinese, actually. This is weird. Yeah, I think it would be weird. I think, I guess it's fine to be adopted in general, but I don't know. I think I'd want to... I'm not, enforcing this. Not that I have any power, although one day I will when I rule the world. But I wouldn't enforce, for adopted peoples to be taken in by, a family that are of their race, or at least close enough. Not quite Somali, but at least they're, from another African country. They're from Chad. They're Chadinese. I would not enforce it, but I guess I would recommend it. It seems like a bit of a trip now that I think about it to be a kid like that, and your parents don't represent you. And I think that's another issue which amongst adopted people. So I heard about that. Then there was the Aunt Diane who drove Aunt Diane. I don't think she had any kids. She just, I take it that she took her nieces and nephews, I suppose, a whole bunch of kids. I forget how many, but a lot, 8 or something. And got them all in the car, and then just sped that car right into a pickup ute. Fuck. I was trying to be American and Australian at the same time, and that's what you get. But anyway, they hit that and just killed everyone. People in the ute, everyone, man. Everyone got fucked up, and she was, apparently this came out of nowhere, and she was fully drunk and had a bit of weed before getting in the car and causing that calamity. And people were what the fuck? Why did she do this? Why did they do that? 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 Who knows? Not that I've watched the documentary about it or anything. I just read up about these. Well, I didn't even mean to hear about them. I just click on a random YouTube video, and now I'm hearing about it. I didn't click on a video with the title, 8 kids died on purpose in a bloody car purpose. It's not a car accident, it's a car purpose. So yeah. Anyway, welcome to the podcast. Woo! All right, it's the movie special of the pod. So quickly delving into some movies, but I've seen some stuff. I can look at my top 3 favorites of the year now, and I kind of gauged a bit of a pattern in them. So they would be, my new favorite of the year is Friendship, followed by That's definitely at the top, but then it's followed by Eddington and then The Surfer with Nick Cage. But I'm looking at these films like, yeah, they are obviously good. I'm saying they're my 3 favorites of the year, and I'm not like, oh, but I still don't like them. That's how bad movies are these days. That kind of thing. Like, I do like them. But The Surfer's quite good. Eddington has its problems, but I kind of think it's great. I don't know. Maybe it's kind of just good. And Friendship is excellent. That's an excellent movie that I feel that, yeah, each of these films, they have a male manly man character at the center who is, well, someone who's comes across somewhat as mild-mannered, doesn't really have too much of an agenda, maybe a bit more of Eddington is that, but they sort of feel that they're being slighted in this world by other men. Sorry, anyway, I'm not the critical drinker right here. Oh, all these fucking movies these days are misandrist and shitting on men. Oi, what happened to me Scottish accent? Why is it now? Everyone's accent is just chavvy British to me. Anyway, fuck that guy. And so what we see is not like, when this happens to you in real life, like it happened to me. This is the 4th film, by the way. It's my life, the way I was slighted. No, it just shows that these guys, I would say somewhat, each of these guys in these 3 respective films, like, take these slights against them, and not in a good way. You know, they kind of just, they don't try to diffuse the situation. They just escalate it more and more and more, you know. And obviously that's what you want in a movie, escalation in the conflict and so on. I mean, it can be a bit cheap and you're just thinking, oh, it's just generating conflict. You're just AI generating conflict. You're just like, oh, here's 2 characters and they have a issue with each other. So, I don't know. Then we have a whole other thing come in, that sort of thing. No, but I think it's done well in each of these movies. It's done in an organic way, or, you know, somewhat realistically, but if not, then at least cinematically, and it still makes the narrative and these character relations so interesting. But as I'm saying, there are differences between each of them. Like Friendship, for example, is, you got Tim Robinson in it. I keep wanting to say Tommy Robinson. Oh, what's with all these Muslims getting into me neighborhood? Oh, I got a fucking packy moving in next door. Maybe he could be my friend. He's so cool. He's in a band and he's like got a bathtub filled with poison for honor killings. Oh, that's awesome. Anyway, sorry, getting away from the politics. But anyway, Tim Robinson in the film, like, I feel like the film like tests your sympathy so much with this guy. I love the way his character, well, at least my reaction to him just shifted more and more in the film. But like, because it starts off, he seems mild-mannered, somewhat sympathetic, I suppose. You look at him like, oh, he's a little bit of a cringy, try to be the cool dad kind of guy, and he has a lame job and everything. But then, you know, he strikes up a friendship with a neighbor, and then you start to like, yeah, feel sympathy, empathy with the guy. You're like, oh, hopefully this seems nice. But then you start to see that Tim Roberts' character Craig, he's as he's getting into a friendship with the Paul Rudd character. You know, he starts to do things that are very cringy and, you know, socially not so acceptable. And I think at that point, from what I've seen of his TV show, that's when it becomes most like his cringy humor in the TV show. And you're like, oh, he's pretty cringy, ha. But then as the film goes on, it starts to just, you're like, oh man, like he really is like not taking any of this well, and he's like beyond just socially awkward. Now it's like he's actively antagonistic and he's narcissistic, as you see what happens with his wife in the movie. His wife, Kate Mara's character, is a huge character in the film. You know, as not to give away what happens with her, but like things don't go well, and then even when she, even when there's kind of like this somewhat of a plot, that plot line is resolved. This Craig character just makes it about himself. It's just about him, even though he's been such a shit. And there are people in the film who, like the poor odd character, they feel a bit realistic. They are looking at this guy like, dude, you're a shit. You're just a shit person. They point it out, but the film really does test your sympathy. And at that point in the film, you know, I believe that the film isn't, you know, suggesting, hey, this character is still likable. It's not saying that. The film has just about arm's length with its character. You're just simply looking at what he is, and then it keeps going on, and then it gets even worse. Now he's just deranged. Now he's deranged and dangerous, and you're like, holy shit, like this is like the path that this guy took, and everything that happened to him, you know, even if he was like really trying to begin with, you know, he just, I don't know, the film kind of comes across as a lesson in how to not escalate things in your interpersonal relationships, and I just found it to be, I don't know, very resonating and relatable, and very entertaining. It's a hilarious movie. It's really funny. It's just, I would say, pretty unexpected, especially with a certain drug trip scene that I think that scene is so funny. I love the punchline of it all. That I won't give away, but like it's, when you see it, it kind of just shows the depth of this Craig character, as in it's not very deep. He just seems like such a, there's not a whole lot of introspection with him. He's quite surface level and just about like, you know, and that's kind of fine in a way. Like he is I don't know, he's not how you say, like nefarious and like, you know, just trying to get things for some nefarious reason. He is what he is, and you can see that, and the characters can see that. But there is, yes, this lack of introspection. Definitely. He does not have that. There's not a point in the film where he's like, you know, let me think about things. And if he is doing that, it comes off badly. Yeah. I feel like this is, similar to like, you know, what happens in these other movies, like Eddington as well. There's a bit more, let's say, pushback from the main character, the you know, Joaquin Phoenix sheriff character, who, you know, is. I wish there was a bit more backstory to it all, like and a bit more just, I don't know, explanation for his motivations, because he just decides to become the new mayor in town because he doesn't like the current mayor. He has problems with him. I don't mind keeping some of that vague, but sort of wondering, like, why does he want to? Is it just because he doesn't want to wear a mask? And he's like, oh, why do I have to bloody keep social distancing? This is bullcrap. I'm going to become mayor. And that sort of thing. But that's also another film where, again, it's just showing these escalations rising. And I think out of the 3 films, this is the most surprising. Like, I feel like each, sort of twist and turn in the plot as it goes along, they're all surprising. Not all of them, but they can be very surprising, quite shocking, without, you know, it's unpredictable, and I like that, but but it still doesn't feel like it's just sideswiping you with isn't this a random plot detail to occur? Although maybe some of them later on in the film get a bit too, like the satire, you know, it breaks, it doesn't bend, when it gets to the stuff later on in the movie, where I'm kind of looking at it and I'm thinking, I don't know what the satirical connection is with what's happening in the film when it basically gets explosive, and how this relates to the real world, because I felt the satire was, you know, very realistic. It felt very like worldly in the world of May 2020. But then, where it goes gets kind of a bit too chaotic and explosive for my liking. And a similar thing with The Surfer as well, where I feel like that film is the most, very direct and upright with what it is, because I guess the storyline is simpler. It's more reiterative, because it is just Nicolas Cage. He wants to surf on this beach, but these, like, gatekeepers there simply won't let him. They just, they're just these, like, racist-looking dudes who are just, I mean, there's no racism against Nicolas Cage, obviously, but they're racist against simply outsiders, you know, Americans. Even though Nick Cage is like, oh, but I used to live here, and And yeah, a lot of the movie is just him continuously trying to like get in the beach, but they won't let him. Then they start fucking with him, and they get him. They keep like whittling him away, like more and more as the film goes on. You really start to just. I feel like the film, you know, it always pretty much keeps you on the Nicolas Cage's side because he doesn't really do anything wrong. It's not quite like in Friendship where he really goes out to get like this petty vengeance, even though more shit happens to him in this film than what happens in Friendship. Like this guy is really getting fucked with, but he is able to kind of handle these fuckeries that occur with him until later on, you know, getting into the spoilery territory. But then there's this like another character who feels the same way and is a bit of a gone through a similar experience to Nicolas Cage, but he reacts in a much different way. And yeah, I would say the film, like, you know, it certainly builds and it builds, you know, it keeps, when I say reiterative, it's not like, you know, it gets repetitive and you're just like, oh, we've already seen this scene. It sort of shows how when he keeps trying to get through, like it's really starting to, I don't know, backfire on him in the way that these asshole characters do, you know. And it's funny to see in that film just this, you know, you have your protagonist in the film, and you know he's like, oh, he's a likable guy, like there's nothing wrong with him, he's fine. And then the villains, the antagonists in the movie, oh, they're assholes, you know, and they're you're really jerking this main guy around. And I love how in the film it just shows like these asshole characters, they have like what looks like beautiful wives, lovely kids. And they got not great jobs. They got fucking you know, trusts, funds, you know, that kind of thing. So they're banking on that, so they can spend so much time, you know, just on the beach surfing and keeping it for themselves, you know. And it's just showing like, wow, because it doesn't matter if you're an asshole. You're like, here's what these guys are doing. They're just doing it all and getting away with it until later on they don't. Until this. Yeah, no spoilers again, but with what happens. But yeah, just with these three films, it's just been interesting to see just this theme that's been going along with them. And maybe I'm just, I don't know, pattern seeking or whatever. Like, you know, is this something that goes on with like many films that I watch and I just don't realize it, or am I like really starting to see something here? Because obviously, you know what I've been talking about, you know, the whole escalation and everything, and characters butting heads and characters, you know, reacting to it. It's just a big part of filmmaking. Maybe all I'm trying to say is these are three films that act like films, and they're not just like this vague, like, oh, this is happening, and now it isn't, and then, there was like, this conflict is happening, but then this plot line here, and I don't know, you know, this character, oh, he's doing something, oh, this is interesting, oh, no, whatever. So all these like story strands that you feel like are meant to conclude, and then they don't, and it's not like a purposeful thing that the film is doing. It's just, I don't know, that's just the nature of the filmmaking. They just fucked it up on the way, and you watch it like, this didn't conclude, did it? But anyway, those three films are tight. They're my my favorites of the year. Okay, looking at this list from the New York Times and their top 100 films as polled by like a whole bunch of filmmakers and critics and so on. And, you know, is this really the list that we end up with? I mean, it's somewhat decent, but I don't know. Like a lot of these movies, just to me, like I'm not really that, you know, interested in. I'm not really seeing like how it is that they're just this high up, you know, just certain. I don't know, certain curveballs. I mean, first of all, you have Superbad at 100. That's like immediately, I don't know, a little telling, because there are better comedy films out there, like even comedy films of that particular style, you know, that particular genre and everything, that would at least be more appropriate in that position. And I don't know, just to go a little bit all over the place, but this is the big surprise I'm seeing. The Lord of the Rings is just not even in the top 10. Like I thought, and it's only the first one. It's only the first one that's like in there at all. You don't even have the Two Towers or Return of the King. I like those movies fine enough, but I recognize that they seem to have they're regarded as, I thought, massive achievements of cinema in the 21st century, and yet just to see only one of them at 87 behind fucking Anchorman? Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? That movie blows. That movie fucking blows, man. Oh my god, why is that there? At number 84, the best movie. The 84th best movie of the 21st century. Well, hot damn. But just like going straight up to the top, like I feel like a lot of the films in the top 10 or even up the top 25 are kind of general to see, like Parasite at number 1, followed by the likes of Mulholland Drive, There Will Be Blood, In the Mood for Love, Moonlight, No Country for Old Men, Eternal Sunshine, Get Out, Social Network, Mad Max. I feel like all of these are, generally considered like, oh, such great movies. And I do feel like a lot of these, some of them would be, right at the top of my favorites of the 21st century. I feel that the curveball here is just The Zone of Interest at 12. Like, I didn't realize people loved that movie that much, because I feel like this is really one of the, I think it's like the highest rated, like real new movie, like a movie that came out just in the past few years. It's even just, not even a couple of years old at this point. Which I find to be a touch surprising, because I'm trying to think if I've seen a better Holocaust movie released in the 21st century that's better than it. They haven't been too great, to be honest. But that one there, I mean, it's a fine enough movie, but it just also felt like it was just so, I don't know, upright with its particular message, and I just feel like there could have been really more depth to it, really. It just in general, more to it, more in the substance of it. I guess people think like, oh, it's a very substantial movie and everything, but I don't know, to me it just seems more on the style side rather than, I don't know, really looking at things. But I don't know, it's a fun enough movie, I guess. And then after that we have, other just usual suspects. I mean, why even really list them off? Good to see The Wolf of Wall Street at 20 so high up with Zodiac just above it. That's nice. I mean, it's just like the usual movies, just like that well-known. Most of them are going to be American. There's like few European movies. There's basically nothing from, a lot of countries like any Middle Eastern country. I don't think... there's got to be a separation there somewhere, right? Well, I don't know. But yeah, you don't have like a lot of that, you don't have a whole lot of Asian cinema in here either, so, oh well. I mean, a little bit, but not a huge amount. Just looking at like the random, like the films that really stick out. I mean, Bridesmaids at 32 is also just, you gotta be high as shit to be putting that there. Really, I mean, really, just cause it's like a female... like, poop and gross out, like, gag humor and all that kind of thing, but it just does not go beyond the genre. And there's really, I mean, Superbad's better than it for sure, but at least it's better than Anchorman. Well, interesting to see Portrait of a Lady on Fire is slightly lower on this list than it was on the Best Films Ever Made list. Curious, but it still stands at 38 on this list. Oh god, and they got fucking Lady Bird on there. It should be Little Women instead. That's a much better movie. Lady Bird is such a like Tumblr quotey, like the whole screenplay is just written to like have these quotes and gifs that you can use on Tumblr where it's like, sometimes in life, it's just no one gets it. Oh, fuck off, you live journal of a movie, you. Little Women has actual conversations and discussions between characters. It's far more interesting. It's way better. Anyway, nice to see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood at number 44. Like, that's a great movie. As with Roma is high up. And also Up. Actually, yeah, that's cool. Up seems to be like the high... okay, maybe not quite, but like one of the highest rated Pixar movies. Because, most Pixar's movies were made on this side of the century. So... I mean, you do have WALL-E up there, but like, where's Toy Story 3 or 2? Huh. I mean, you'd think they'd be on the list, but I'll go fuck myself then. At least Up is on there, but then you have like 12 Years a Slave right after. Well, you know. I mean, yeah, not a great movie. Really not a great movie. And then after that is The Favourite, which is pretty good, but I would put Poor Things there instead, really. And then Borat is cool to see. Yeah, certainly one of the better comedy movies of the century, and I'm glad to not see Borat 2 on this fucking list. Interesting. Best in Show. That's that documentary, mockumentary kind of film about dogs, right? Yeah, I've seen that. That was a very okay, somewhat amusing mockumentary. Putting it at 57, putting it like just above Uncut Gems. Oh, you're fucking high, man. You're fucking high. Anyway, well, I haven't seen Little Miss Sunshine, but for it to be up there above Gone Girl, well, at least Gone Girl's on the list. That's nice to see, along with Tar. Fucking Spotlight, man. At 68, that is just such a, like, TV movie. It's okay, but it's not a good movie about important subject matter. Like, I feel like the subject matter just automatically elevates it. Like, fuck off. Anyway, Hurt Locker and Under the Skin, good to see. Ocean's 11. Well, I've not seen that movie before, so I suppose one of these days I will sign up for a streaming service and be like, oh, look, Ocean's 11, the remake with George Clooney is on there. Oh, I guess I'll watch it. I gotta say, Everything Everywhere All at Once, like, I thought it was good enough. But at 77, I felt like people were just shitting their pants about that movie. They fucking loved it. I would expect to see that in number 10. I thought that would be way higher. Oh, whatever. I'm not complaining either way. Like, I just feel it's solid, respectable movie. Fine. I don't mind it winning whatever. And then right after that, After Sun. Again, like, you know, a good movie with a pretty devastating ending. Tree of Life is on there. It's cool to see. Blah, blah, blah. What else do we have? I think Michael Clayton being on here is also just like a mediocre movie. Like, it was fine, but I haven't thought about it since I watched it. And for that to be a bit higher than Minority Report, like, very much, like, perhaps Spielberg's best movie, which I'm glad to at least see it on the list. Glad to see it. You know, I'm so glad it gets the recognition, because that is a good, fucking excellent movie. But Michael Clayton, I don't know, fuck it off. I'm not happy. We also have Black Panther at 96. Oh, I thought that would be higher. I mean, I believe that's the highest rated superhero movie, or maybe the only superhero movie on this list. Oh, there shouldn't be any bloody superhero movies. Fuck you all. Yeah, that is... I thought that was the best movie ever made, but oh well. I feel like if this list got made... well, I don't know exactly when they polled everyone, but if they did it a bit later on, you'd probably see fucking Sinners or some shit on here later, and you're like, Friendship should be on this list. And then just after that, Gravity, Grizzly Man, Memories of Murder. Yeah, that's all pretty tight. So yeah, in general, a lot of, like, the usual suspects on this list. Some, yeah, these curveballs that are mostly random. I don't feel like there's too many delightful ones, though. Like, it's nice to see some movies on this list, but otherwise it kind of just looks like a bit like the IMDb Top 250 with, you know, the Indian movies removed, and yeah, like, you know, it's lacking representation and diversity. You know, there's no there's no fucking there's little diversity in terms of, like, you know, countries where these films are from, and no Australian movies. Struth, that's not good. Where's Wolf Creek? I would not mind at all if that was on here, I guess. Oh, I do see The Dark Knight is at 28, so that's the highest rated superhero movie, I believe. I don't know, who cares, man? I'm just gonna... Yeah, anyway, hard to be, like, too angry about it, but, you know, I'm not particularly amazed. I mean, looking at Parasite at number 1, that kind of... it somewhat sums it up. I'm like, oh yeah, that's obviously like a great movie, but I haven't seen it since like a month after it premiered. So I watched it and just thought, this is pretty damn good. Like before it was cool, before everyone started like jizzing in their parents' bed about that movie. But yeah, not fine enough list, I guess. You know, taking a bit of IMDb top 250, but a little bit of bloody sight and sound bullshit, and a bit of they shoot pictures, don't they? Sort of throwing it all together, but it's not, heaps interesting. And yeah, anyway, who cares? Just a quick mention about like, I guess I'm like figuring out annoying little technological things that happen, and then just like, crashing out on the podcast about them like I did in the last one. But I noticed something new. Maybe I'm fucking up. Maybe I'm getting it wrong, but like I was using Spotify on my phone, and when you click on an album, and then you click on the name of that artist in that album, it seemed like before it would take you to the artist page. It would just take you there, right? Hey, I need a sip of water for how angry I'm going to get now. But I've been noticing it seems to be different. It seems to, like, if I click on the name, it then searches that name. And obviously the first thing that's going to come up is like that artist. So I click on that name, and now that's like, now it's in my search history, like it's in my most recent searches, so that's what's going to show up. I'm just like, how the fuck is this? Like, what have you done? Why did you change this simple thing? Why did you change? Like, it's beyond comprehension. Like, the idea of like when you click on something, it takes you to the page. Can you imagine if you clicked on something and it just searched the channel instead? I'm thinking if YouTube did this, if you were on someone's video, you click their channel name, and it doesn't take you to their channel. It just searches the channel, and then you click on the channel name. How in the fuck is this convenient or an improvement? Like, that was not even like, oh wow, such a neat thing. I never even thought of it being like convenient. I just thought that's just the way it should be. I really don't understand. I really don't. As I say, like, maybe I'm fucking this up and I just am getting it wrong, but I'll check again and see if it's gonna do it again. Yeah, I mean, it fucking does it. I'm on an album, there's the name of the artist or band, I click on it, and it just fucking searches. And if I click their name in the search, like, it's gonna come up in my recent searches, which is annoying. What the fuck? You fucked this up? It's just technology as usual. Just like, oh, this is like, yeah, as I say, not even convenient. It's just the thing that you're supposed to do. Let's fuck it off. Let's fuck that off. It's too easy. Please, fucking, what's your name? Daniel whatever. The guy that's like stealing money from musicians on Spotify and giving them to fund AI technology and warfare. Please explain to me why this is a good thing to do. Why did you change this? You fuck. I have nothing for this. I'm so flabbergasted. I'm completely bamboozled. It's so unorthodox. It's a real kerfuffle. Please change this back. Why the fuck would you? All right. Anyway, look. And also, getting into my also another recurring series that I have going on this podcast is making fun of autistic people on YouTube, which I must say, don't you think is a little hypocritical of me? I mean, this video's on YouTube, and listen to the way I talk. No, I am not autistic. Okay, I can look in the eyes of people when I talk to them, even though I'm saying weird shit. I'm just like talking to them. I'll ask them if they like Warhammer, and they say no, and then I speak for 15 minutes about how I was influenced by the book The Art of War to become a better Warhammer player. For 15 minutes straight, a monologue, when the person said they're not interested in it. This has happened to me. This happened to me. And I was like, all right, very interesting. It's somewhat interesting when when you think about it, with actual warfare, actual motherfuckers dying, rather than all this, like, you know, little painted figurine bullshit. You bloody... Why don't you grow up and actually join a war? But anyway, yeah, back to autistic people on YouTube. Yeah, bro, you know, it's... I don't want to, you know, like, really look at them as the lolcows they are and really make fun of them, you know. I am just genuinely curious as... Yeah, but I was watching one lady, autismo, and yeah, there's hopefully you don't manage to find her videos. I mean, whatever, she has probably less subscribers than I do, but like, there's a video of her, and she has like these balloons in the back that say 27. So I'm looking at it like, I'm assuming that's your age. She looks 27, I guess. I mean, I don't think she's a kid underage. Oh, no. Yeah, gonna be Chris Hansen come to my house, you know. Why are you looking at this autistic chick on YouTube? I swear, I'm just curious. Yeah, so I believe her age is 27. I look at her like, okay, she is an adult. I don't know why I'm watching these videos, but she's talking about, like, going to the library. She's like, I went down to the library today with my social worker, and I got out some books. So here I'm going to show you what they are. I'm like, all right, cool. Oh, man, you know, the books she showed were the just absolute entry-level books. It's not like... I don't know, like... it depends on your, I don't know, autistic level, but I would like to think autistic people just read books like, I don't know, anyone else or whatever. Maybe they, I don't know, I just thought like this chick, maybe she just took out, you know, some Charles Dickens or bloody, I don't know, maybe she reads Harry Potter or fantasy book of some sort, fucking video game adaptation of some sort, you know, something like that, something kind of nerdy. Something not too, like, you know, like, easy enough to read, but, like, with some depth, but, you know, I don't know. That's a bit like what I was expecting, and no, it's literally just, you know, fucking kids' books. Not even, like, an 8-year-old kid book, like, where it's still a story with, like, a bunch of stuff happening and characters and stuff. But it's very small. It's, like, not quite 100 pages. The text is big. There's, like, little cartoons in it and everything to kind of guide you. But you're getting the idea of what you're reading, you know? That kind of thing. I don't know. Like, I don't know. But, no, I do know. But, no. She's just reading, you know, like, the worm ate the apple. Or, you know, look out, it's raining now. What are we going to do? And it's, like... books that are like literally, you know, 5 words on every page, and there's like these like big illustrations, you know, that like show yeah, these are the super entry level, like to the degree where you're reading them to your kids. You're kind of like, they can't read, you're giving them the idea of what it means to read when you do it for them. Obviously you still need the these drawings, illustrations in there for them to, you know, you're going to make it a bit visual, I guess, you know, but it seems as you get older, you know, you get more words, and it's like, yeah, they're not as big, you know, like, you know, you're reading, a dense novel and everything, or you start getting that way as you get older. But, yeah, I guess, this autistic lady of 27 years old just can't get beyond basic first grade level of reading, if even first grade. I mean, I'm thinking when I was in second grade, I had Goosebumps books, and I guess I was reading them, but not really. I kind of used them just to collect them, you know, which is kind of fucked up. See, I'm autistic, but I was able to read these, you know, more grown-up books. Oh, I'm reading Goosebumps. It's 80 pages. Oh, and there's no images in it, but even still, wow, I can handle it. And I was only 8. And this chick's 27, and she's reading 5-year-old for 5-year-olds books. All right, man. I mean, I don't know. It's just hard for me to just comprehend, you know. And I'm going to be a bully about it. I'm going to bully this person. I don't know. I just felt like if you're autistic, okay, whatever. Like, I guess things are hard for you in life and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, it did look like she's in a care home, I suppose. Something like, yeah, it looks that way. But I still think, like, can't you just push yourself a little bit? Can't you just read Goosebumps? Can you not level up in your reading capabilities so that it's closer to at least a fucking 8-year-old's level of reading? Can you even get it to that? 20 years younger than you? Can you get it to that? Like, I've seen autistic people read before. I mean, obviously some of them are reading, you know, bloody, you know, intense books on physics and, you know, bloody obscure Russian novels that are over 1,000 pages long. Or maybe they just want to read a nice fantasy book, you know, not the hardest thing to read, but it's something, you know, it's something, especially in this day and age of illiteracy, you know. Anyway, she fucking didn't want to do it. And then I also watched the video of her, like, just dancing to, like, you know, this kid's song. It's, a tootie time, a tootie time. I shouldn't have brought up the, like, song, but I just I got it in my fucking head already. Yeah, it's just awful. But, you know, it's one of those songs like, what was it? Papa, Sugar in Your Mouth kind of fucking song, the shark dance song or whatever. That kind of thing. It's one of those songs where they instruct you to do something, like put your hand out, and then you do the dance again, and they get you to put your hand out, leg out, that kind of thing, and then the next time they get around to it, hand out, leg out, punch yourself in the balls, whatever, you know. It keeps going on. You keep having to do extra things, you know, at the end of the song, you know? You know? It's one of them. It's one of those kinds of songs that you engage with when you're a kid. But anyway, whatever. She's doing it. And I'm like, oh, man, this is very childlike. It's literally childlike. But whatever, I don't know. It makes you happy. Why shame people? Oh, God. But as she's doing it, I'm barely paying attention to it. But even I'm sort of like, you know, in the song they say out. Then you say out as you put your arm out. Then she says leg out. Then you put your leg out as you say leg out. It's like that kind of thing. And I was keeping along like in my head just very, very, very generally. But I could. And she couldn't. She would miss lines and be like, oh, there's the hand out. and like not sing parts that she did before. Like, she's fucking it up. Wow, man. I'm just, you know, if I saw a kid doing this, I'd be like, ha, you got it wrong. But this is a 27-year-old person. I mean, I'm just trying to comprehend this. I just, you know, I want people to live better. I really do. And I don't think regressing to childhood is a good thing, unless done in very small doses, I suppose. Yeah, people have their, like, you know, fascinations with, like, supposedly childish things, you know, like The Simpsons, you know, this kind of stuff. But as long as, or like superhero movies or blah, 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 or Bluey or whatever, like, but I think, you know, if you genuinely feel like it is written well and there's something in it for adults, and there's, fine. Like, you know, I understand Bluey is, because I haven't watched much of it, but I imagine that it's a show that it's enjoyable for everyone to watch. You know, it's just one of those things, I guess. And right? Is that right? Is it like SpongeBob, where it's just a kid's show, but like you could definitely enjoy it as an adult? Is it? Maybe, I don't know. I'm assuming so, because it's not like, you know, just watching shows that are for kids. Like, it's not like that, where it is still amusing for anyone. Like, it's like, as I say, like Bluey, I would consider, or SpongeBob, like, it's a family show because the whole family at least can enjoy it. You know, I still like SpongeBob. It is amusing. But then you have kids shows, and they are only for kids, right? I'm saying this as someone who watched the entirety of the original Pingu series in my mid-20s. You see how some of this, like, I'm like, oh, God, but then a little bit of it reflects back on me. This is what happens when I watch Lol Cows, man. I'm like, oh, God, it's like, I realize I could be one, and yeah, I'd love to be one. Please, can we make me a lol cow already? What do I have to do? Like, get horrifically drunk and smash my apartment and god damn it, you goddamn troll, stop harassing me. I'm from Australia and I'm autistic. Stop making fun of me. Stop bullying me. I'm an Australian autistic man. That's the worst of both worlds. That's what I'd like to be on YouTube. That's what I'm going to be remembered by in my whole world. That's like that. Even that, what I just said there, I want it played at my funeral, which will be 3 weeks from now. Anyway, that's just how I feel, you know. Like it makes me think like I don't know why I've been thinking about little girls recently. No, I don't know. I've had this thought where I must have seen it in a movie or somewhere, but like just the idea. And this is going to sound bad, like of little girls playing like skip rope, and they're like, you know, they're like hopping, they're skipping rope, they're like clapping hands with each other as well, and then they're singing this kind of like, you know, those kind of nursery rhyme. Well, it's not really a nursery rhyme. It's kind of like they're rapping because they don't stop. It's like they keep going. They have this whole thing, and it's like as fast as rap. They're like bloody Blackalicious with the way they go, you know. Yeah, I feel like I saw this in a movie or real life or a dream. I don't know. But I thought like for 8-year-old girls to be doing that, I look at it like it's impressive. And I kind of think me being 6 years older, I'm like, oh, I couldn't do that. That's impressive. They've only been alive for 8 fucking years. And like they're doing this whole thing where like it involves a lot of dexterity, would you say, and practice, I'd imagine, and just constantly like doing this shit and rehearsing. Oh, I don't know about rehearsing. I don't know. I'm impressed with it. It's like it's multitasking, you know. It's nice. It's showing these girls how to multitask for later in life. Oh god, I don't know. I tried to do a sexist joke there. Fell on my pants there. But yeah, something about this, like this whole thing is just, it's impressive. You know, I am impressed, and the fact that they're just so young, and I'm thinking to myself, I can't do this. Like I can't. If I would fall over the rope, I wouldn't be able to hit your hands as I'm doing it, and like I have nothing to. I've got no whatever you call them, the rhymes, whatever that I have to be able to just say. You know, they're not even looking at a piece of paper. They got it memorized. Like I can barely memorize my bloody set, you know, and yeah, so it's cool that like, you know, 8-year-old girls can get to that level of like, I don't know, competence, and like with like everything they're doing like a few things at once, you know. It's impressive. And just, I don't know, just comparing it to the other side of this thing with this 27-year-old who can't even keep up with a fucking like song made for like 3-year-olds to sing along to, who probably have the same level of fucking it up as she did. They probably also are like, oh, oops, I missed my line, you know, that kind of thing. I've never seen one of these 8-year-old girls miss their lines before. Maybe because I probably haven't seen this in real life, and it's only in the movie, and it's probably all just a lie anyway. It's a psyop, and they don't actually do this in real life. Because if they did, I would be very impressed. Anyway, that's what I got to say about it. Anyway, I will, yeah. It's just funny because, as I've said before, but like I keep getting like autistic YouTubers recommended to me, and it's good because they have very few subscribers. I like people with few subscribers in general. I'm starting to like, yeah, get into more niche YouTube channels. I don't watch fucking Mr. Beast all day or like whatever fucking, you know, what do you call them? YouTuber, just generate drama over and over and have like 10 million subscribers and all that kind of crap. I don't care. I don't even know who these people are. It's good to keep it that way. If you're going around in your life being like, who's Asmongold? You know, who's Penguin? Just keep it that way. Just keep it that way. All right. Anyway, look, we started off the show with positivity, you know, and I want to end it on some positivity as well. And I just want to say, I was reading about this a little while back, and I want to, I've been meaning to bring it up. But you know this whole this photo. You know this very historic photo called "Burst of Joy." Oh, it's a photo that was taken in 19 73, and it shows it's basically the main photo of the it's one of the key photos of the Vietnam War era, and it's, it was taken, I believe, on like American soil, or I guess, obviously, because what it shows is this man who was, I think, a POW for like 5 or 6 years. But he managed to get out, and he survived, and I'm not sure if this is the exact end of the war, at least the US's involvement in it. I don't know, but he arrives home, and we have his family, his wife, and his 4 kids, and they look so happy. Especially this looks like the eldest daughter. She looks like she does encapsulate the burst of joy. If the way the photo's taken, you can't quite see his face, but you can see the face of his family. They look overjoyed. They look so happy. Oh God, it's a beautiful photo about this family reuniting after this man, just went through hell, but managed to come out of it, and a genuine hero. This man is. Oh, what a genuine hero, reunited with his family. What a lovely fucking photo. Oh, what a lovely photo. Oh, it's so beautiful. Oh, wow. We just shows the solidarity and the iron tight concreteness of family and marriage before boomers came around and ruined it all. Oh, what a lovely photo. Anyway, so the backstory behind the photo is that this wife was cheating on this guy while he was, pissing and shitting in a pan in Vietnam, and she got with a number of guys, and I don't know, I guess she claimed that, she needed to support the family because, they're on a single income now, I guess. I guess you get no compensation when your bloody husband is a POW, especially for this long. I don't know, but I guess that was the reason why. Or she's a slut, I don't know. She's just like, fuck my hero husband, I'm gonna go screw around, I can take it too long to come home. Supposed to be here before bloody the 70s. Now it's 73. Fuck this. I'm going to go out and fuck a bunch of guys. I got to do it. I can't wait to get my pussy filled. Anyway, that seemed to be the sentiment behind the photo. I don't know. Look, I believe there's, all sorts of different, reasonings behind it and everything. And, it's been so long. It's been over 50 years since this photo was around. I believe the man and the woman are dead now. I hope. At least for one of them. Or perhaps not. I hope she is. Oh no, why should I say this? Oh look, you gotta understand, she was in a tough time and whatever. I don't know. Look, I had a little bit of a look into it and all that kind of bullcrap, and well, I don't know. Ultimately, that's just that's just how I feel about. I just wanted to end this podcast on a positive note, on this thing that we had that is a representation of this wonderful thing that America has after such a horrible event. Such a horrible war that seemed ultimately meaningless in a way that other wars previously weren't. And also personally, for what this guy had to go through. But then you just have this, beautiful photo that just, shows his bullcrap. And I heard that this guy, he had a copy of the photo himself, but he cut the wife out. He was like, I'm not fucking looking at her, hey. Anyway. Fuck it. This has been the David Morgan Brown experience. God, I hope someone listens to this and just gets mad and tries to cancel me again. As I've said, I'm not even 10 subscribers in and I've already tried to be cancelled. I know that was by some guy years ago and he was in the comedy scene or whatever and blah, blah, blah. But now no one likes him. Yeah. But anyway, it'll probably happen again. God, Anyway, good night.